If I were to ask you if you had an addiction, what would you say? Most people would say no. But what if I told you that addiction is the manifestation of any behavior where a person craves, finds temporary pleasure or relief in, but then experiences negative consequences over a long period of time, but still doesn't give it up? So based on that definition, have you ever experienced any behavior to fit that description? I said any behavior, not just drugs, not just alcohol. It could be drugs, it could be alcohol, but it could be any behavior where someone finds temporary relief, pleasure, or to satisfy a craving over a long period of time, yet they know they're going to experience or have negative consequences. Typically, addictions come in various forms, which we know, and they're usually triggered by an unresolved issue internally, deep down, whether it's trauma, whether it's you were hurt, whether it's a guilt of some sort, and we're not able to find a way to heal naturally, so we look to external things to fill internal voids. And in today's society, addiction is everywhere. Look around, but usually I would say look within first, because remember, it's any behavior that we do over a long period of time that gives us negative results, negative consequences, yet we continue to do them. So there's a 5-step process to overcome any addiction. And it's very important that if you want to overcome an addiction, that you follow these 5 steps. They work. You often hear people say that the first thing that you need to do is to admit that you have a problem. I 100% disagree. You don't need to admit that you have a problem. The very first thing you need to do after you identify it is you need to be able to look yourself in the mirror, and you need to accept the fact that you have a problem. You need to accept the fact that you're an addict. You need to accept the fact that you do something you know you shouldn't do and you know you don't want to do it, but you can't figure out why you can't stop. So you have to accept the fact that this is my reality. I have a problem, I can't stop, I want to stop, and I need help. You're accepting it. This is who you are, what you've done, and that's okay. You can't change what you've done to this point. But you accept it as your reality. You accept the fact that these choices, this behavior, helped to put me in this position in life where I'm at. It helped to create who I am, but it does not have to design or dictate who you're going to be moving forward. Accept your reality. Chances are you fed into it, you contributed to it. Just accept responsibility for it, own it, done. Now you can go out and do the second step. Now you can admit it. Because a lot of times we can go out and we can admit things just because we know it's what other people want to hear, we know it's what we're supposed to say, but we don't know if we really believe it. So once you accept it, well, then you can go out and admit it and say, you know what? I eat too much. I have a procrastination problem. I have a drug problem. I have a drinking problem. Whatever your problem is, now you can go admit it. You can have the conversations with people. You can start to express yourself, get the feelings out, get the emotions out, start to clear your thinking, start to think again. Because oftentimes when you're in an addictive pattern, you lose your creative thought because you're just focused on what's your next, where you're going to get the next, how you're going to get the next. You're afraid of losing the security that you think you have by participating in that addiction, when in reality you don't have any security from it. Addictions typically cause chaos, whatever your addiction might be. So after you accept the fact that you have the problem, then you admit the fact that you admit that you have a problem. Third, and probably most important step, you have to decide. What do you want? What do you want your life to be moving forward? If it's a weight loss goal, if it's a sobriety goal, if it's a financial goal, if it's a relational goal, whatever, you have to decide, what do you want? What do you want your life to be? How do you want your life to look? Only you can make that decision. Nobody can tell you what to look for. Nobody can tell you what to want. Nobody can tell you what to desire. Nobody can tell you what your dreams and goals and aspirations. Only you can answer that question. It's a very difficult conversation that you have to have with yourself, but you have to do it. Like, this is pivotal. If you don't, you're not going to heal. But you decide, what do I want my life to look like? You can have lofty goals and dreams, and don't put any limitations on it. You want to travel the world, just what do you want your life to be? After you decide that, now's where you got to take some time. Step number 4, now you have to design your plan on how to get there. Now, you don't need to know all 100 steps. Maybe you just need to identify the first, second, or third step. Everything starts with your first step. So we've accepted, we've admitted, we've decided we want a better life. We decided we don't want to stay where we're at. We decided we want to do more, be more, experience more, have more, participate more. Now we have to design it. Is it start exercise? Is it seek professional help? Is it stop buying stupid things and start finding ways to save money? There are a lot of resources out there that you can tap into. There's free stuff online. There's people around you. Seek out the people that are living or doing the things or the way that you want to. And I assure you, most people, if you ask them for help, they want to help you. People love a good underdog story, but people are not going to want to help you until they see that you're trying to help yourself. You have to help yourself if you want other people to step in and help you as well. So you design what you're looking for, you design what you want, and now we have to execute. And what does execute mean? We have a plan, it's written down, and when you're in an addiction, it's very difficult to get motivated or stay motivated, and some days it's just a challenge to get out of bed. I understand that. I was there. I struggled for 5 years. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to see anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to be left alone. There were times where I would go days without even using my speaking voice. I wouldn't talk to anybody. So maybe that means, to execute. Start setting an alarm and try to get up at the same time every day, just as a starting point. Don't hit your snooze. Get up, make your bed, first step of accomplishment. Go drink water. Do little baby steps to start to change the habits and the disciplines of your everyday life. You're not going to fix them all at once. You're not going to experience all the change that you want all at once. But if you're going to give something up that's giving you negative impacts or results or consequences, then you have to slowly start implementing habits and behaviors into your life that are positive. You have to start to fill up the tank as you're emptying it. You're emptying out the negative, so there's still a hole there. You have to fill that hole, but now you start filling it with positive things, with information, with healthier foods, with better conversations, with better knowledge, with physical activity. You have to start to fill that hole. And in that execution, you're going to fail. Not every day is going to be perfect. You need to understand that. And I think that's why so many people experience relapse, because, hey, I have a problem. I accept I have a problem. I've admitted I have a problem. I decided what I want my life to be. I figured out what I have to do, and now I'm doing these things, and it's not working. Well, think of how long it takes to build that bad habit, how long it took before you realized that it was having a negative impact or consequence on you, right? So it's not going to fix itself. You're not going to fix yourself overnight. You're not going to fix yourself in a week or a month. It might take you a long period of time. It took me a solid year to really get good. Now I'm 4 years out at this point. I'm in the best shape of my life. My business is good. My relationships are good. I feel great about life. I'm optimistic. And I remember what it was like when I got started. It seemed impossible to get to where I am. But I stuck to my plan. And I had days where I failed. I had days that I didn't want to get out of bed. I had days where I sat down and I wanted to meditate and I couldn't close my eyes for 3 seconds before my mind started going off in every direction. And I'm like, why am I doing this? But I forced myself to sit there for those 15 minutes. I drank my water every morning. I forced myself 15, 20 minutes to sit in the dark and try to meditate and just focus on breathing. And slowly that starts to change your habits. So understand that not every day is going to go as planned. Not every day is going to be perfect. You're going to fail. You're going to fall short. And you are always going to be your own worst critic. But remember, you've made a decision to improve. So stay focused on moving forward. Stay focused on what you want to do, not on what you have done. You can't change your past. You're not going to change your past. There's nothing you can do. So wasting the moment that you're in, thinking about what you've done, you're just wasting the now. And don't spend too much time daydreaming. While dreaming and daydreaming is very important, don't spend so much time figuring out or trying to visualize what you want it to look like, that you're not taking advantage of the moment that you're in. So I want to encourage you, if you're having any struggle, no matter what it is, because addiction manifests itself in any behavior, and this is very important to remember, where somebody craves or finds temporary pleasure or relief in over a long period of time, but yet they experience negative results or consequences, but we don't stop doing it. So accept, admit, design, decide, execute, and then repeat. And I promise you'll ultimately get to where you want to go if you follow these steps.